Not every baking soda habit is safe, especially after 60. When used the wrong way, it can quietly weaken your muscles, disrupt overnight recovery, and leave your legs feeling unstable. But the good news: a few gentle shifts each morning can help restore strength, balance, and steady energy throughout the day. In this video, you'll discover 5 common morning habits with baking soda that may be silently draining your muscles and how to fix each one starting tomorrow. If your legs feel heavy or shaky each morning, even after a full night's sleep, it may not be just aging. For millions of older adults across the U.S., these subtle signs are more common than they realize. But they're not random. They're quiet signals. Signs that something in your morning routine may no longer be serving you. After 60, our bodies naturally begin to lose muscle, up to 1% per year, even in otherwise healthy adults. And while we often blame this on getting older, the real cause runs deeper. Muscle loss often happens overnight when the body is supposed to repair itself. And when certain habits, especially those affecting digestion, interrupt that process, recovery becomes incomplete. Muscles weaken, and the decline continues. That's where baking soda comes in. Used the wrong way, it can alter your stomach's acidity and quietly block your body from absorbing the nutrients it needs to stay strong. According to the National Institutes of Health and Mayo Clinic, low stomach acid reduces absorption of key nutrients like vitamin B12, iron, and magnesium. These aren't just vitamins. They're essential for rebuilding muscle, supporting energy, and maintaining steady legs. So even if you're eating well, moving daily, and doing what you've always done, your body may still be undernourished, simply because it can't absorb what you're giving it. The good news: this isn't permanent. With just a few gentle changes to how you begin your day, you can support muscle recovery, improve nutrient uptake, and feel stronger with every step. Let's begin with the habit most people believe is safe, even helpful. But for older adults, especially after 60, this quiet routine could be the one that holds your recovery back each day. And if this is already making sense to you, take a second to tap like, subscribe, and join us for more calm, science-backed senior tips. 5 morning habits with baking soda that may be quietly weakening your muscles. After 60, and the science-backed fixes to help you stay stronger, steadier, and more energized each day. Mistake number 1: drinking baking soda on an empty stomach. George is 70 years old, retired, and still wakes up early every morning. Like clockwork, he walks into the kitchen, fills a glass with warm water, and adds half a teaspoon of baking soda. He drinks it slowly, believing it cleanses his system and helps keep his digestion in balance. He's been doing this for years. It's simple. It feels natural. And it's something his neighbor once told him was great for the gut. But lately, George has noticed something different. He feels slower in the mornings. His legs feel heavier when he first stands up. Sometimes he forgets what day it is, or pauses mid-sentence, struggling to recall a word he's known for decades. It's not dramatic, but it's frequent. And it's quietly getting worse. At first, George chalked it up to age. That's just what happens when you get older, he thought. But during a checkup, when his doctor gently asked about his morning routine and heard about the baking soda first thing on an empty stomach, she raised a quiet red flag. Here's what many older adults across America don't realize: baking soda isn't harmful by itself. But when taken first thing in the morning, especially before eating, it can quietly interfere with your body's ability to recover, especially after 60. That's because your stomach acid isn't just there to digest food. It plays a critical role in helping your body absorb key nutrients, especially vitamin B12 and folate, 2 essentials for brain health, red blood cell production, and muscle repair. When you drink baking soda on an empty stomach, it neutralizes your stomach acid. And when acid levels stay too low for too long, your body struggles to absorb these nutrients properly. Over time, this can lead to deficiencies even when your diet is otherwise healthy. According to the National Institutes of Health and the Mayo Clinic, B12 deficiency is one of the most underdiagnosed conditions among older adults in the U.S. Why? Because the symptoms like fatigue, poor balance, foggy thinking, and muscle weakness are often mistaken for just getting older. But it's not just about B12. Lower stomach acid also impairs absorption of iron, calcium, and magnesium, nutrients that keep your bones strong, your nerves firing, and your muscles coordinated. Without them, your legs may feel unsteady. Your mind may wander more. And your energy may dip before the day has even begun. So while George believed he was supporting his gut, he was actually weakening the very foundation that helps him move through the day, his muscles. The good news. This habit is easy to fix. You don't need to cut baking soda out completely, but you do need to change when and how you use it. Instead of drinking it right after waking up, give your stomach what it truly needs to function well, a small, gentle meal. Even half a banana, a piece of toast, or a spoonful of plain yogurt is enough to activate natural stomach acid and help your body prepare to absorb nutrients. Then, if baking soda is truly necessary for occasional indigestion or another health reason, take it only after eating and ideally with guidance from your healthcare provider. That's exactly what George did. He still keeps baking soda in his kitchen, but no longer drinks it on an empty stomach. Now he starts his mornings with a light bite first and saves baking soda for when it's really needed. And after just a few weeks, he noticed a real difference. His legs felt less stiff, his mind more focused, his mornings calmer. Because sometimes the habits we trust the most, the ones passed down through generations, shared among neighbors and labeled natural, are the very ones we need to look at more closely, especially as we get older. Even water can become unhelpful, especially when it's paired with something alkaline too early in the day. And that brings us to another habit that seems healthy at first glance, but might be sending mixed messages to your muscles. Let's take a look. Mistake number 2. Mixing baking soda with lemon. Lila is 68 and proud of how health-conscious she's become. Every morning before breakfast, she fills a glass with warm water, squeezes in half, a lemon, adds a pinch of baking soda, and drinks it slowly. She calls it her alkaline reset. It's a habit she picked up from a wellness article years ago, something that promised to balance her system, reduce acid, and clean out toxins. It made sense. It felt gentle, and it became part of her identity. In her community in Arizona, she wasn't alone. Several neighbors and friends at her senior center had started doing the same thing. For many older adults in America, lemon water with baking soda has become a quiet ritual. It feels like a smart way to fight inflammation and age naturally. But over the past year, Lila began noticing changes. Her legs cramped more often, especially at night. Her hands felt weaker when gripping her grocery bags. And during conversations, her thoughts sometimes slipped like a word was just out of reach, even though she knew it well. She brushed it off as just part of getting older. But during a routine checkup, when she casually mentioned her morning detox drink, her doctor paused and then gently explained something Lila had never considered. While lemon and baking soda seem like a healthy pair, one acidic, one alkaline, they create a powerful chemical reaction when mixed. The fizz is visible. But what's invisible is what happens after you drink it. That same reaction continues in your stomach, neutralizing the acid your body needs to absorb vital nutrients. Stomach acid plays an essential role in breaking down food and unlocking minerals like iron, calcium, and magnesium. After 60, natural stomach acid levels begin to decline. When we further reduce that acid with baking soda, especially first thing in the morning, we increase the risk of nutrient deficiencies. Not because we're not eating well, but because our bodies can't pull out what they need. Magnesium, for instance, supports muscle relaxation, nerve coordination, and memory clarity. Iron delivers oxygen to our muscles and helps prevent fatigue. According to the National Institutes of Health, nearly 50% of older Americans may be deficient in magnesium without knowing it. The symptoms are often subtle: tired legs, restless sleep, scattered focus, or muscle twitching. Lila's drink, meant to alkalize and energize, was slowly interfering with her body's natural rhythm. It wasn't poisoning her, but it wasn't helping her either. The fix, fortunately, is simple. You don't need to give up your morning routine, you just need to shift what's in your glass. Warm water alone helps wake up your digestive system gently. For a natural boost without neutralizing acid, try a few slices of apple or a thin sliver of ginger. Both support digestion and neither disrupt mineral absorption. If you still enjoy lemon water, have it later in the day and without baking soda. Drink it after meals, not before. That simple timing switch can help your body keep what it needs and let go of what it doesn't. Lila made the change. Now she enjoys ginger water after breakfast and saves her lemon slice for lunchtime tea. Within a few weeks, the leg cramps faded. Her focus returned. And most of all, she felt steadier physically and mentally. Because sometimes a healthy habit isn't about what sounds trendy. It's about what works with your body as it changes with age, with time, with grace. And even a habit that seems good for your stomach can slowly wear down your muscles if it replaces what your body truly needs. Mistake number 3. Skipping breakfast after baking soda. Harold is 74. He's retired, lives in a quiet town in Oregon, and enjoys starting his mornings slow and simple. For years, he's followed a quiet ritual: wake-up stretch, drink a glass of warm water with baking soda, and sit by the window to read the paper. That drink, he believes, helps settle his gut. Sometimes his stomach feels tight, or a little sour in the morning, and baking soda always seems to help. But Harold rarely eats breakfast right away. "I'll eat later," he tells himself. "Maybe around 10. He doesn't feel hungry in the early hours, and the baking soda seems to make him feel lighter. So most mornings he skips the meal altogether. It's a routine that feels harmless, maybe even helpful. But like many older adults across the U.S., Harold didn't realize the quiet cost of that habit. Because when you combine baking soda with skipping breakfast, the result is something the body can't ignore, especially after 60. You see, after a full night's sleep, your muscles are waiting for nutrients. They've gone hours without fuel. And while you sleep, your body enters a natural breakdown phase, gently using stored amino acids to maintain tissue. In the morning, your muscles are primed to rebuild, but only if you give them what they need. That's where breakfast comes in. Not just as a source of energy, but as your body's first chance to trigger muscle protein synthesis, the rebuilding process that helps maintain leg strength, posture, and coordination. But when you take baking soda and skip that meal, you're doing the opposite. Baking soda temporarily reduces stomach acid. And while that helps calm discomfort, it also slows digestion and blocks absorption of nutrients, especially protein-building amino acids, B vitamins, and key minerals like iron and magnesium. Now imagine that happening day after day, your body missing that crucial recovery window, and your muscles slowly losing strength without you noticing. According to studies from the Mayo Clinic and aging research institutes across the U.S., seniors who skip or delay breakfast are at a significantly higher risk of sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass. And it's not just about how much protein you eat each day. It's also when you eat it that matters. Breakfast is your opportunity to stop overnight breakdown and begin rebuilding naturally, gently, and without pressure. For Harold, things started to shift gradually. He noticed he got winded faster on walks. He needed 2 hands instead of 1 to lift a bag of groceries. And some mornings his knees felt unstable just walking to the mailbox. Nothing major, nothing that screamed trouble, but enough to make him wonder quietly, am I just getting old? Or am I missing something? That question led to a visit with his doctor and a deeper look at his morning habits. And that's when things started to make sense. The fix. It wasn't complicated. His doctor didn't ask him to give up baking soda completely. She simply said, add breakfast. It didn't have to be much, just something with protein taken soon after waking. A boiled egg, a slice of whole grain toast with almond butter, a few spoonfuls of plain yogurt with cinnamon. Light foods that are easy on digestion but strong enough to signal the body, it's time to build. Harold made the shift. He still drinks baking soda when his stomach feels off, but now he eats a small breakfast within 30 minutes. The results were subtle at first, but after a few weeks his energy felt steadier, his steps felt stronger. He caught himself smiling more in the morning, not dragging, not dreading. Because when you're over 60, muscle isn't just about strength. It's about movement balance and protecting your independence, and sometimes protecting your body starts with something as simple as not skipping breakfast. So if you've been using baking soda to settle your stomach but skipping your morning meal, it's time to give your muscles what they've been quietly asking for. And even when you eat the right foods, timing still matters, especially when it comes to supplements. Let's take a look. Mistake number 4. Taking supplements too soon. After baking soda, Linda is 67 years old and lives in a quiet suburb just outside Cincinnati. She's the kind of person who alphabetizes her spice rack sets reminders for her checkups months in advance and starts each morning with the same structured routine: a glass of warm water mixed with baking soda, followed immediately by a neat row of supplements, multivitamins, B-complex, magnesium, and omega-3s. To Linda, this routine is sacred. It makes her feel in control. "I haven't missed a morning in years," she proudly tells her daughter. And that first glass of water, it's not just hydration. It's her way of resetting the system, something she picked up from a friend at her senior fitness class. But what Linda didn't realize, and what many older adults across the U.S. might not know, is that this exact routine may be quietly stopping her body from absorbing the very nutrients she's trying to get. Here's why. Baking soda temporarily lowers the acidity in your stomach. That's one of the reasons it helps ease occasional acid reflux or bloating. But stomach acid isn't your enemy, it's essential. Your body relies on it to activate digestive enzymes and to unlock nutrients from the food and supplements you take. When you follow baking soda with supplements, especially vitamins and minerals like B12, magnesium, and iron, you reduce the chance that your body will actually absorb them. The pill might dissolve. But the nutrients often pass right through unprocessed, unused. According to the National Institutes of Health, this challenge becomes even more significant after age 60. As we age, stomach acid production naturally decreases. And in the United States, many older adults are already at risk of B12 deficiency, some without even knowing it. B12 plays a key role in red blood cell formation, nerve health, and memory. Without enough, you may feel fatigued, foggy, or more prone to muscle weakness. Magnesium supports muscle relaxation, heart rhythm, and steady energy. Iron helps deliver oxygen to every muscle and organ. Without it, even standing up can feel harder. Linda thought she was doing everything right. She took her supplements daily. She read labels. She chose high-quality brands. But still, her blood work came back showing borderline B12 levels and mild anemia. Her doctor asked if she'd been feeling tired, and Linda admitted that she had. She also shared that lately, her legs had been feeling shaky going downstairs, and her focus sometimes slipped mid-sentence. Her doctor listened carefully, then asked a simple question: "What's your morning routine like?" That's when everything clicked. The solution wasn't more pills, it was better timing. Her doctor explained, "Take your baking soda if you must, but not right before your supplements. Give your stomach time to return to a more natural acidic state. Better yet, eat something first." A small breakfast with protein and healthy fats helps prime the digestive system to absorb what follows. Linda started making a change. Instead of stacking everything in the first 10 minutes of her day, she spread it out. First, a light meal, half a banana, a slice of whole grain toast with almond butter or a boiled egg. Then, 45 to 60 minutes later, she'd take her supplements with food, not on an empty stomach. It didn't take long to notice a difference. Her thoughts felt clearer, her steps more stable, her energy more even. And for the first time in months, she actually felt like the supplements she was taking were working. Because they were. You see, the body can't use what it can't digest. And while many older adults in America invest in supplements to protect their health, especially after 60, timing can make all the difference between nourishing the body or simply flushing nutrients away. So if you've been taking your vitamins right after your morning baking soda, pause. Rethink the rhythm. Let your stomach recover. Eat something first, then give your supplements a real chance to do their job. Because even the best supplement can't help if your body never gets the chance to absorb it. And the last habit, it's the one that feels safest because you've done it for years. Mistake number 5. Using baking soda daily without medical advice. June is 66 years old and lives in a small town in Indiana. She takes pride in doing things the natural way. No antacids, no harsh medications. Just what she believes her body was meant to handle. And for over 5 years, she's started every morning the same way, with a glass of warm water and half a teaspoon of baking soda. It's a habit she picked up from her sister, something that was shared as a tip for cleansing the body and keeping things alkaline. It felt simple, old-fashioned, and harmless. June never questioned it. "It's baking soda," she'd say. "It's not like I'm taking pills." But over time, she began noticing changes. Her legs felt heavier when she walked. She was getting more tired during the day. Sometimes she'd enter a room and forget why. Small things. Nothing she'd call alarming. She assumed they were just part of aging until her doctor noticed something on her lab results. June's potassium levels were low. Her blood pressure had climbed slightly. Her reflexes were slower than usual. When the doctor asked about medications, she said no. But when she mentioned her daily baking soda drink, the conversation took a turn. Because what many older adults don't realize is that even natural remedies like baking soda can have long-term effects, especially when used daily without medical guidance. Baking soda or sodium bicarbonate can temporarily relieve acid and calm the stomach. But when taken regularly, it can gradually change your body's internal chemistry. Specifically, it can cause a condition called mild metabolic alkalosis, where your blood becomes slightly too alkaline. This shift can affect how your body handles key electrolytes like potassium, magnesium, and calcium. These minerals are vital for muscle strength, nerve communication, and brain clarity. When they become imbalanced, it can lead to muscle fatigue, confusion, and short-term memory issues, exactly what June had been feeling. According to the Cleveland Clinic, long-term overuse of baking soda is not uncommon among seniors trying to manage digestion naturally. But the consequences often go unnoticed, or worse, are mistaken as just getting older. The good news. The fix is simple. June didn't need to stop everything. She just needed to step back. Her doctor recommended that she use baking soda only when necessary, after meals, not on an empty stomach, and never as a daily ritual. They talked about safer ways to support digestion and how to listen to her body more intentionally. June made the change. She swapped her daily drink for warm water with ginger or a few slices of apple, and over time she noticed something surprising. Her legs felt stronger. Her thoughts didn't drift as much. She felt more grounded physically and mentally. Because even good habits deserve a second look, and sometimes what we've done for years out of trust needs to be adjusted out of care. So if you've been using baking soda every morning, ask yourself, is it still helping or is it just familiar? Your body doesn't need perfection. It needs balance. And baking soda, like any remedy, should support that, not shift it out of reach. You've lived with tired legs, slower mornings, and quiet frustration, wondering why things just don't feel as steady as they used to. But maybe it's not just aging. Maybe it's your body's way of asking for something different. For many older adults in America, daily habits with baking soda feel natural, even helpful, but may quietly interfere with recovery, nutrient absorption, and strength. The good news. You don't need to overhaul your life. By adjusting just a few morning habits, you can support your muscles, improve your balance, and move through the day with calm, quiet strength. If you've used baking soda in any of these ways, we'd love to hear your experience in the comments. And if this video gave you something to think about, tap like, subscribe for more health tips made just for this stage of life, and share it with someone who deserves to feel stronger each morning.